So right now we're working with Chalk Pastel, and I'm working on my Sandra Salisbury, terrible at saying her name, portrait, and I kind of split it in half, kind of naturally down the face, and this half is going to be mostly warm colors, and then this half is cool colors. So I've already done some of my blending and everything here. You can kind of see in this section, it gets a little bit lighter towards the lips, and then I've got like a medium kind of yellow, and then a gold. So there's some natural kind of shading kind of going on there, or gradation going on there. Same thing in this section. I've got orange and then kind of a red orange. Here I've got this kind of like brick browny red color and then like an actual red. On this side, I started working, I was using some different chalk pastels that I don't like very much. So I'm going to actually go back over this section, but you can see I kind of started with this light purple and then moved on to a mid-size or a mid color of purple. Now, with my other chalk pastels that I'm going to be using, I only have one purple, but I do have some blue that I think will kind of go over that and blend pretty well. So I'm going to start with my blue color, and I'm going to go just right back over the top of the chalk pastel that I've already used. And chalk pastel is pretty forgiving, and it looks really good as you layer it. So I'm going to kind of cover this part with chalk. Notice I am leaving some white spots. It's okay when we're using chalk to leave white spots. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I've got kind of like a darker blue here, so I'm going to go over that purple that I had with that darker blue. And then maybe from the blue, I'm going to go to purple and back to blue towards the top. But I just am going to show you two colors at a time here. When I get close to the outside of my drawing and to the lips, I want to be kind of careful, but remember we are going to be outlining with oil pastel, which is a little bit thicker than our colored pencil was, so I can leave a little bit of a gap there, and that's going to be okay. When I'm using my chalk pastel, when I'm blending, it helps to have clean fingers, or at least fingers that are the same color as whatever you're blending. I'm going to wipe off this blue here a little bit, and then I can get started. Make sure my fingers are dry now. And I'm kind of working in like a clockwise motion, kind of rubbing that chalk pastel into my paper. It is going to leave some dust, and we'll blow that off in a second, or kind of tap it off of our paper. When I get closer to that other blue, I really want to make sure I'm swirling, and that's going to create some blending. And I'm working my way from my lighter color out towards my darker color. I'm blending that, and we can pretty much not see the purple at all anymore, especially as we blend that in, and we can kind of push that out farther. Okay? It is important that you choose warm colors on one side and cool colors on the other, because if I were to start blending blue and my orange together, for example, I got to be close near that edge because that would make brown. So if I blend a warm with a warm and a cool with a cool, I'm probably going to be on the safe side. So for example, maybe I'm going to go from blue there, and I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to blend a green next to it. So again, notice I can leave some white spots because when we blend it, it kind of fills in those gaps. But maybe I'm going to bring the green up around the eye, that kind of close. Okay, maybe it's going to go like that. I'm going to have it butt right up against that yellow. So again, green and yellow would blend together well, but some of my other colors would not, so I have to be safe. Okay, set that down, and I'm going to go back in. I'm going to try to smooth out and blend in my green first, and then I'll come back close to the blue and make sure that my blue and my green blend together well. Okay, so we're just using our finger. If you don't like the feeling of it, we could also use a Q-tip too to do our blending. But I'm doing that swirling motion around my colors. Maybe I'm going to bring some of that green down, and then that looks really nice. Instead of just blowing on my paper, I'm going to pick it up and tap it. And that's going to create a pile that I can push off to the side. And at the end of class, when we wipe off our table, we will just pick that up with our wipe instead of getting it all in the air or on the floor. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep blending some colors. Maybe I'm going to start working on some of my other sections that I haven't done yet.